I will call to order at 7 o'clock. I will call to order the February 13th Golf Commission meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll do a quick roll call. This is Steve Varian.
Mike Harrington.
Christine Hogan.
Mike Feinstein. Peter Grace. John Taxel-Drugas.
Priscilla Schultz.
Great. And Anthony, you on the phone?
Yep, Anthony Calabrese on the phone.
All right. Liam or Peter, you on the phone? They're not. Okay. All right. Bob is out playing golf.
No. In the dark?
Pebble Beach.
Oh, Pebble Beach.
Yeah. He's at Pebble. For real.
For him.
Yeah. So he said his report. When we get to it, I have his. All right.
Hello.
Oh,
Who's that?
that's Liam.
Oh, hey, Liam.
Okay.
All right. Minutes from the last meeting. Has everybody had a chance to look at them? Any thoughts, comments, corrections?
I move they be accepted and submitted.
I'll second that.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
All right. Unanimous. All right. Staff reports. We'll start with, so as you guys know, I circulated some of the goals that we had collected from everybody. Like I said, most of them related to the course improvement work that we've been talking about over the last couple of months. So when we get to Peter's, we can go through the actual physical course improvement, but then we have some of the other things. And Bob, to his credit, sent sort of a response or how he suggests we address each of those. I can send that to everybody after this. Of course, now I'm struggling to find it. All right, so if you have it, great. If you don't, I'll just read them out loud. The first one was Liam's comment about improving monthly reports and analytics. Liam, Bob said that you have an account now and you have some access to the reporting. Is that true?
Yes, I have some access. So I just haven't had the time in the month of January to do that.
No problem. Good, but that just going forward though, you can kind of dig into it and maybe provide some additional analytics going forward.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think at that point, so getting a little more granularity out of the 4UP system, in order to just prefer, and even overlaying on top of like the spreadsheet that Anthony provides on the passes, the rounds, and the revenue breakdown, just to give a little bit more, something where you can take a quick glance and kind of see when something looks a little off or something. So I have a couple ideas. I can pass around the list of things I was looking at, but I think I mentioned this in a previous meeting where I think that creating a couple sample examples of what I could do with things might be a good sort of starting point for talking points as to what people really want to see, but that before talking about it, I think it's there's the possibilities are not endless, but they could be a lot. So
you're thinking visually, right? You're thinking something like pie charts, things like that.
Yeah, like graphs, pie charts, bar charts, that type of stuff, right?
No, that's great. Yeah, why don't you do whatever you're thinking, and then maybe for next month, and we can all just take a look at what you're thinking.
Yeah. I think that's like I said, a good starting point, talking points, and then people can like tell me what they want to see or how they would want to change things at that point.
All right. Next one was improvements to the driving range, like new mats, things like that. Bob said new mats, new ball machine have been ordered. Once the new ball machine is there, we can. Said in effect, the range never needs to close. Everything will be automated. As far as other range improvements, we'll deal with that separately as part of Anthony's presentation or report, excuse me.
But Keith, it would close, right?
I think it would. I
Well, it
mean,
has to because
Well, the
you
lights.
collect balls and lights,
Yeah.
like, it wouldn't make sense. It
Right.
has to close.
But I think what he's saying conceptually though, right?
Okay.
Everything will be automated, like we don't have to go up to the desk, buy a
Yeah.
bucket of balls, walk over, everything's automated.
Right.
You know, so if we
So
can
he
find a way.
ordered the machine and everything, did he give a timeline?
I actually ordered it.
There you go.
It will probably be, 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's not
that's
You're
bad.
gonna be able to, credit card, player's card, tokens, cash, so all different options to, buy your ball.
Did you order the same one that's at Fairchild Wheeler?
That I don't know.
Yeah. I just feel they have a lot of trouble.
So I
They're
hope
very-
it's not the same one.
Yeah.
That's pretty antiquated.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like
it's
12
pretty
cents.
hard to read,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
you read the thing and you're like,
Right.
okay, I clearly didn't read it right, you put your thing in, hopefully
that's
it's
what I mean.
easier.
Now, does the new ball machine come out of Bob's budget?
Bob wanted.
Or does that come out of the town
I know, I would
budget?
think it's just, right, it's just out of the revenue created by
The
the.
revenue, so it would be,
No.
that's the
No.
town though, right? What, Anthony?
No. It's gonna come out of the money that I'm going for at the end of the month. We've already got it approved from, Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance. We have the RTM left on the 27th.
Okay, so
We'll
that would
just
come
get-
out of the rec budget for the golf course then?
No, it's gonna come out of the capital improvement
capital. Okay.
fund for the improvements.
Did that come with, what about new balls? Do you know if that, was part of what you guys ordered?
We didn't order new balls. I thought Bob's, got that under control. I think we have.
Yeah, and then we got like some, but there's
Yeah.
still some pretty, you know,
Can
broken
I
ones.
ask a question, do we dredge to get all the balls? Like, how do we get balls? Like, can I have mine back? No, but seriously, do you, like, where do you
Oh, you mean like on the course, like going to the
Yeah, like when
pond?
you go to the driving range, where are those balls coming from?
We pay teenagers that swim around. I don't know. I think they don't, you mean like for the range?
Yeah.
They buy the range balls.
No, but, no, to your point, yeah, they buy range balls, but there are other golf balls.
Yeah.
People will come and hit their own golf balls,
Yeah.
and then they leave them out there, and then they get brought in also.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm sure
Well,
you
I'm
know
assuming
that.
Peter finds golf balls all the time and
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the range, right?
When they blow the leaves off in the fall, it's amazing the balls.
I mean, to be fair too, when I've gone up to the range and I've seen a couple of the balls that I use, I'll keep them.
Yeah.
So I give some and I take some.
Have you ever walked, like, done a hiking route, back behind the range?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's like 30 years of golf balls.
Are there really?
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It really is.
Just out of curiosity, Peter, how much did that machine cost? Do you know? Do you
The
offhand?
ball machine?
Yeah,
Just short of 10,000.
okay.
All right, next was, 4UP notices, for things like weather delays. Bob said 4UP has the capability, but it would increase our monthly fee by $100. Again, you know, Anthony, I'll defer to you, because that would be additional cost. But to me, that makes sense, you know, so that's $1,200 a year. What are your thoughts on adding something like that?
I'll have to talk to Bob and Peter to see if we can absorb that in the budget. 4UP's going up, I believe, 8% in April. We just got their contract the other day, so I know our purchasing department's fighting with them at the moment.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so this would be $100 on top of their increase, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. But again, if we could get push notices, you know,
Yeah.
hey, frost delay, whatever.
For that price,
You
it's a
know,
good deal.
I thought, to me, that
I
sounded
don't
low.
think that sounds like a lot of money.
No, to
No.
me, that sounded low,
Because
right?
I think what happens now is Bob does it manually, but then to put it all on him to keep going back in is a lot to ask, and when you've probably got golfers.
Well, you have to go to the
Well,
website.
you have to go to the website.
You gotta go to the website.
No, but even then, he'll say frost delay, right, but then give you an update at 9:30.
Oh, right.
But then there's never another update,
Right.
because it's all manual.
But if 4UP does it, somebody has to input that information
Exactly.
anyway.
Somebody still has to do it.
But I think you're looking for going to the people who are registered to play, the notification directly
Right.
to.
Well, have you ever gone for like a frost delay,
Yeah.
or, you know, you show up at The frost delay could be at 8 in the morning, you show up at 2 PM and you're an hour and a half still behind, you know?
Right.
That's not because of anybody, it's just because,
No matter what your seat time is.
right, there's no way to catch up.
And sometimes they do catch up, so you
Right.
think
Yeah,
there's
right.
a delay and you got there and they've moved through everything.
For the most part, I know in my experience, they've caught up like
Yeah.
within an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Not always though, I've been bit by that.
Okay, I mean, just from what when I,
Right.
But to
been
get
affected.
notifications, that'd be great.
That's not,
It's a
Yeah.
nice feature.
No, absolutely.
everybody has a cell phone, you get a push notice, you get a text, you can get, you know, whatever. Anyway.
Wow.
Next one, this is sort of part and parcel, was, you know, have the website contain the same information that whatever we're having if we did you know. And again, Bob's already doing that, and so I don't think there's a lot more there to add, but I think really the comment is what you're saying, which is that has to be continually updated so we know, like if there's a frost delay, we need to know when it's over, right? And then if it's over, hey, we're running on a 20-minute delay, and then when that 20-minute delay is over, we're running current, you know?
Yeah, or even, you know, if there's a tournament and you're not gonna get on the course, or,
Right.
and then I think the Part 3 website also needs to be updated.
I think that's a good one. Well, so Bob's comment here was, if there's something specific we want, so I'll collect those comments.
Okay. And I meant to put that in before, I didn't.
All right. Next one, continue focus, growing youth programs with the Part 3 and Smith. You know, to Bob's credit, every year we offer more programs, and every year they sell out. And that's where we are again. There's more programs than last year, and they're mostly are already sold out already. So, that's awesome. And I think, you know, Bob's gonna keep adding them until they don't sell out. So, I just wanted him to hear, and I think I got this comment from a couple people, including me, that there's a demand, you know, there's a demand for these youth programs, so let's keep pushing them out. Outings, you know, right now there's 12 confirmed for next year. I think we'll ultimately have more than that. And again, that was just, again, sort of keep it on everybody's top of the priority list of, you know, let's focus on outings, Something that we can talk about when,
Yeah.
you know.
I think there's way more.
Yeah, I think he's just saying that's 12 confirmed, but I think you guys are probably talking more than.
Yeah, I just booked 3 this week, so.
All right, so now we're at 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next one is, can we include a chipping area, somewhere between third green and first tee? You know, I don't know how that would,
Well, what I was talking about, that was my comment, Peter, I don't know if it's possible, but in between the practice green and as we go to the parking lot, to make an area there where you can chip onto the green, there's room. I don't know if it's feasible or not, because there's really no area to chip onto the green from.
Why don't we put a fucking short game area in it, but the goddamn range?
What did you say? Anthony?
That wasn't me.
Oh,
all right.
okay.
We got, I think it was the shipping, the short game area we're gonna put over at the driving range.
Right.
I don't think it's approved.
Right.
That over there between,
You know where I'm talking
oh,
about,
yeah,
right?
it just gets so beat up, and people just trample over it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it would be nice to have an area where you could chip,
Oh, yeah.
and putt, and so I was just
Mhm.
looking at it and walking it a little bit and saying, okay, this might work. I just don't know if it's feasible or
Yeah, I'll
not.
defer to Peter if he thinks there's
Yeah,
an area.
I don't know either.
Take a look at it.
Okay.
If they make the grass as robust as they can in that area, then that's the best you can do.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
More events, more community involvement, and I think that's the same thing, that what we're seeing is the more events we have, the more people go. And so again, let's keep pushing it, let's keep doing these things. And so Bob said they already have 3 wine and dine events scattered out through the summer, a junior jamboree, and a drive-in movie night on the range. These will all be in the summer brochure. They're going to keep doing programs. So I think that's something that, if anybody has any ideas, but that's something that, again, I think what we're finding is, as we do these events, they're successful and well-received, and people enjoy them, so.
Is there a way-
On the range?
I know, I don't know what that is.
I never heard of this school.
Is there a way through 4UP to almost have some type of poll or questionnaire, like, you know how you can do a Google form, and, you know, we do that a lot, just to ask people
They want.
what they might be interested in.
Hello? Can you mute your phone if you're on, if you're calling in, please mute.
I don't know if there's a way to get an idea to gauge the public's interest in any of these events?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I don't know
I don't know
either.
if they could do like a survey as part of,
Yeah.
4UP. You know, what we could do is we could have it on the, you know, when you go into 4UP and, you know, start searching for key times, you know, it could be like,
You have a question on the website?
yes, I mean, or it could be like, you know, kind of like when you make a call, would you be willing to take a survey at the end of it?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I mean, would it be worthwhile to even investigate trying to do something like that?
Yeah, let's talk to Bob. We can talk to Bob about that next month,
Okay.
because I do think, you know, finding out what other people would be interested in would be good, because,
Because I have no idea, I mean, obviously what you tried last year didn't really work out
No.
at all, so maybe that sort of thing is not what people are interested in, but
Right.
maybe they would be interested in something else.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, I mean, I think some of these events, like the wine and dine one, those seem to be fun, and people enjoy them, and they get a pretty good turnout for them. Yeah, let's see what Bob's thoughts are about
Okay.
what other kind of programs would be, people would want. All right, so that's Bob. Administration report, Anthony.
All right, everybody should have received an advanced copy of the numbers. You'll see, obviously, very slow month. It's January. As we start getting closer to the golf season, you will start seeing IDs and season passes going back to their normal amounts sold. But overall, you know, we're in pretty good shape. We had a great fall and a really good summer, so it sets us up nicely for the spring. Here's to hoping we have a nice dry spring. I will jump into the Q2 report that Mike Harrington had requested, since we don't really have another spot for that on the agenda, but I'll just briefly touch upon it. But these are essentially the exact same numbers that I give to the Board of Finance at their quarterly meeting, I believe, next week. Just real brief, on the revenue side of things, you'll see, you know, as of right now, as of December 31st, we are projecting to be over budget in both revenues at Par 3, about $50,000 over budget, and at Smith, about $115 over budget. So, you know, those are great for us. The ones that are losing money on, you know, as far as the revenue, I don't want to say losing money, but aren't making as much money as they normally do. We're not off by a lot of money in the whole scheme of things, so not overly concerned there. And then on the expense side of things, you'll see where we're tracking. Some of these are deceiving when you look at them because year-to-date actual, that second column, really has a lot of items encumbered already, meaning that those items are already allocated. You know, such like the salary line, for example. It has not been spent, but it will be all spent, so it's just encumbered. Again, where we're over budget, it's kind of to be expected. It's normally in our seasonal payroll lines, and, you know, when we have more rounds being played at the golf course, you know, it takes more people to operate the golf course. So, you know, and dry weather obviously also increases that line. But happy to answer any questions if there are any. But you'll see overall, you know, we are in really good shape. This does not take into consideration any bonding of capital projects. So the clubhouse, for example, you know, we probably are paying $600 and something thousand in bonding this upcoming year. So our total net profit will be wiped out. But they don't look at that in the budget in the whole scheme of things. So happy to answer any questions.
Anthony, year-to-date is the fiscal year-to-date?
That's correct. This is all fiscal year. Yep. And this is based on as of 12/31, which is the end of our second quarter.
Right. Now, the only thing I could see that's not on here is the youth program, the roughly $25,000 that came in with Bob's programs, but other than that, it's a very useful report.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, and you're right. That does not go into these accounts. These are just budgeted items. So
Right,
the programs go into a programming account.
right. So you say that the debt burden is roughly what the net profit is on an operating basis, so the course is a break even on a total.
I believe I'd have to get the real debt number, but I believe it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 650,000 this year.
Right, okay. Thank you for this.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
I'm just taking notes, give me 1 second.
That's all I have for now. I'll jump into the budget when we get to it, but
All right, anything else for Anthony before we move?
Are you gonna talk about the driving range?
Oh, right.
I was going to talk about it during the budget, but I could talk about it
Okay,
now.
no,
I mean,
that's fine.
Yeah, we can wait.
we presented for our $275,000, which we're considering phase one. We presented that to the Board of Selectmen and to the Board of Finance, and both approved it unanimously. But that'll basically be the beginning stages of the driving range upgrades. As you heard, new mats, new netting, new ball machine, hopefully a new building back there. Covered stalls is what we're looking to do in this first phase. And then eventually the design plans for a short range area, which would come up in phase two, which we would hopefully be going for that money, I believe, next year.
That is
So
wonderful
the
news.
new machine, and the mats are out of this money that isn't quite fully approved?
Yes. That's normally what we would do, is we'd take it out of there. I think these guys would just get a jump on things.
Fine.
And covered stalls this year.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
Yeah, that is the hope.
So having been approved by the Board of Selectmen, that's a done deal.
This is RTM.
Ah, okay,
We still got to get through the RTM.
all right.
Yeah, it's BOS, B of F, they both approved it?
Yep, they both approved, and now we've got RTM. I'll present on Tuesday night because of the holiday, and then they'll vote the following Monday on the 27th.
And then this money would be available July 1?
Well, immediately.
Normally immediately. It just depends on how finance wants to
Yeah.
fund it, but yeah, it doesn't slow us down.
Yeah.
And then the covered stalls, if this gets approved, and the netting, would this be out to bid? This wouldn't be, you guys wouldn't be able to do this, right? No.
No,
So-
pretty much everything has to go out to bid individually.
So how long would that bidding process take? So are we actually looking at this year then?
2.5 years.
Depends. It just depends on how quickly companies can move. So
Right.
again, that's kind of why Peter and Bob has started getting the ball rolling on some of the smaller items immediately. So
So in actuality, it might not happen this summer then?
Well, depends.
well, I would say
Yeah,
it's
I'm
not going to
asking-
happen in the
I'm
spring,
talking
but
about the covered stalls, the netting, the bigger items, yeah. Okay. All right, thanks,
later.
Dan.
Yep, no problem.
So there's no consideration for the simulators then?
The simulators that we were talking about down at the cart barn, correct? Is that the ones you're mentioning?
In the locker room?
So we're kind of exploring a different option with that right now and partnering with Boca on those. I believe Yanni's in the room, but I don't want to speak out of turn.
That's
Sitting
why
right
I'm
here
inviting you.
smiling.
I don't want to speak out of turn on that. And we've had some good conversations about it, but right now I am trying to pick the brain of the town attorney, seeing basically, if Boca is going to drop a lot of money into these simulators and outfitting that room, it's only fair that we look at potentially extending their lease. That's kind of where we're at right now. I'm just trying to find the legality of reopening, renegotiating and that kind of stuff. So.
Okay. That's great news, though, Anthony. That's all positive.
Yeah.
All right. Peter.
Yes.
I'd like to go through some of those, the items that we were talking about for this year, but if there's anything else you want to start with?
No, actually, my guys, a skeleton crew up there, getting a lot of work done. I'm just looking at it, meaning we want it done by the new golf season. A lot of this is not gonna be done by the new golf season, but, the fairway drain, like the first 4 items you got on the list here. Cart paths, until we get, to the next budget cycle, doing cart paths is, the 16th hole, number 2, is gonna be done, before April 1st. And I gotta get the tree work done on 16 and get the cart path on 16. I've already talked to DPW about coming up and giving me a hand doing that cart path on 16. So that'll be done by April 1st. Remove large trees right side of Greenside bunker. I'm not sure, is that for number 1?
Thank you.
Number 1 hole.
Yeah, we haven't got over there yet. It's been too bushy out there to get that.
Yeah, can you get over there with the ground not frozen?
No.
Okay.
Well, you can, but it'd make a mess.
I mean, yeah, the fairway.
So if we go down here, we haven't got out to 5 yet, but we have built a new 4T on 7. We've started building a 1 on 14. The tree between 8 and 9, not really in plan. We've been doing a lot of tree work up there, and a lot of them are not even on this list, but we have done quite a bit of tree work. The tree on the left of the cart path on the number 9 tee box, that has been removed. The large tree and the green side dog leg on number 9 green, that has been removed.
Mm-hmm.
And that tree with all the exposed roots down by the cart path on 7, that has been removed. And we continue to we're just working on the tees right now because it's nice weather, and we'll see how the weather goes. It's been unbelievable weather we've had up there. So,
Yeah.
And no, I don't know when we're open.
Yeah.
When did we open last year? Right around St. Patrick's Day?
Right around
St.
that,
Pat- yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal, right? Always the goal is St. Patrick's Day, so.
When again, Peter?
What's that?
St. Patrick's.
Open when, St. Patrick's?
Well, that's we always shoot. We always shoot for
March
that.
1.
It could be, the way things are going, it could be a lot earlier.
Gosh,
But, I've cut greens on St. Patty's Day, shovel snow on St. Patty's Day, so,
March is,
But
Well,
isn't
will you
it,
be staffed up to open
Yeah.
earlier?
Hmm?
Will you be staffed up to open earlier?
I'll have a few guys there. I mean,
Hmm?
not fully staffed, but, I'll have my usual chromies in there. This stuff started March 1st.
if we keep getting 60-degree weather, though, we're gonna be getting 1,000 requests,
Yeah,
I'm surprised I haven't got them yet.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at, like we were saying, the wheel's jam-packed, The wheel's crowded, I mean,
Yeah.
there are very few courses, though, that are open right now, and when they are, they're good.
Well, Bob blames me and I blame Bob, so that's why we're not open.
That's fair.
So March 1 is a possibility.
No, you think so?
What's that?
You think March 1 is a possibility?
The way things are going?
I know, but it's 2 weeks.
Wow, that is 2 weeks
That's
away.
2 weeks of.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome. We never open that early.
You know the weather's gonna
Can we
be
ever
like
open that early?
Absolutely, not that I would.
Yeah, I don't remember ever
No.
opening that early.
March 1.
that. We moved in the first week of March one time.
We did?
Yeah, a long time ago, but, I don't know, like I said, it just was play the weather.
Yeah, absolutely. It's supposed to be, this next week is supposed to be 60 weeks.
Yeah. That'd be wonderful.
It would be.
It'd probably be the 30th of April.
Yeah, that's exactly right, it's gonna snow,
Yeah.
March 30th.
They had a special on MTR, the 4 worst weather disasters in Connecticut, 3 of them are in March. A snowstorm and 2 floods.
Oh, boy.
So, don't count out March.
Great. All right, well, we have Yanni here from Boca.
Well, can I just do a greens report real quick?
Oh,
even
yeah,
though-
that's right.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, please.
The course looks great. I've walked it 3 times. The tee work is amazing. I mean, all 5 of the tees have been worked on, the trees, everything. It looks really good. But I have a question, not for you, and I didn't know how to handle this. One of the times that my husband and I were out walking, this guy had a whole shag bag of balls, and he was playing every hole, like with at least 20 to 30 balls. My
Walking
husband
on the
actually,
greens, walking on,
yeah,
yeah.
and I'm worried about, when people do this, and I mean, it's been cold, and I don't know if the greens get damaged from that, but I didn't know how to handle it, and I didn't know if I should have said something to him, because didn't we discuss last month that it's open space and it's
Open
actually
space,
legal
right.
for them to do that?
I'd rather have the golfers out there than the dog walkers myself,
All right,
personally.
all right, so I was right not to say anything.
That's just me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, Andy, we've talked about this in the past.
I know there were balls, literally
You know,
30 balls all over the place.
I mean, in terms of Parks and Rec, like, don't you view it as a public park when it's off-season?
Yeah, it is public open space. They're allowed to walk on it. I mean, playing
And they
golf's
can
a
play
whole
golf.
different, golf's a whole different issue. I don't know if I would support them playing golf.
I
But
mean,
I also
literally, it was
know
a
who's going
shag
to force
bag full of balls that he was playing every hole. And I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a hard and fast rule. I mean, I think the reality is, it would be, hey, if you're gonna play, take care of the course, but really, it's not an open golf course. you
Right.
know, is the way I look at it. Like, I think you wanna hike, you wanna do cross-country skiing, you wanna do sledding, go for it. Golf is sort of different because it beats up the course. That's the reason we're closed. We're closed because courses don't handle divots well
Right.
in the middle of winter.
Especially on the greens.
Right, and so, and I doubt with 20 golf balls, they're fixing divot,
Right,
what I mean,
no, darn
ball
well,
marks.
yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, do we want to turn Peter's crew into, police?
Right. Right.
I don't know. I don't even know if we have the right. I mean, Anthony,
Right.
would we have the right to say, don't hit golf balls, but you can walk?
Yeah, I believe we do, but again, it just comes down to who's going to police it.
Right.
Right.
But a sign,
I
if we put a sign up that says, no hitting golf balls while, during, I don't know, we come up with the words, but, maybe that would be
It does-
better. That would-
So it does say in our golf rules and regulations for the golf season, when the course is closed, appropriate signage should be placed on the first and 10th tee during the winter.
Yeah.
Temporary greens and tees will not be used to extend the playing season. So,
Right.
again, I don't know if those signs are up, but again, it's not going to stop somebody from walking past them and playing.
But the sign will at least give us, the ability then to say something, right? Like, it's hard to say, don't hit golf balls when there's nothing, if they walk up, there's no sign there preventing them. So maybe we do. I mean, if you wouldn't mind, it's 2 weeks, so I guess I don't really
I
care.
don't know what happened to our course closed signs. We used to have them, and they disappeared, but I got some on order right now.
Fine.
Yeah, it's too late for this. We're gonna be,
I
yeah.
agree. But you're right, going forward,
Without
It
posting
happens
it.
every
you
year,
can't
right?
complain.
well, that's what I'm saying, without posting it, you can't really tell them, you couldn't walk up to the person and say, stop hitting golf balls. But I think if we post it for next season that says, course closed, no golfing, then we could,
Then we'd have the right, yeah.
then we could say something.
Priscilla, quick question on the new tees for the forward tees.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it's not going to change the scorecards because they didn't change their pars.
Well,
Right.
if they.
No,
remake the
yardage
course.
will.
Right, I know, but but if you're playing a hole that the forward tees have moved,
Okay.
it's still a par 4 or.
Correct, they didn't change the par,
So
is
the
what you're
whole
saying.
par of 72 remains.
73.
73.
For one.
But what, when will we get scorecards that will reflect, and when will we have a new rating?
I don't know.
Yeah, so Bob sent me a draft
Of the new golf.
and the new scorecard. It looks cool, right? It has the correct pro's name on it, things like that, right? And I said to him, so I assume that this card will be updated to reflect the current ratings and whatever, if we moved any tee boxes, and he said, of course, but I don't know when that will be. But we have the scorecard, at least the template, ready to go for whatever those updated figures
But we should
are.
probably wait, because I'd hate to
Well, that's
spend
what I
the
mean.
money to do it.
That's what he's saying, is
Yeah.
we're not gonna
You
print
don't wanna
those
print
yet.
all the
Right, we're not gonna
You
print
can't
those.
until we get rated, right?
It takes a little, once you call them,
I don't
they'll
know how
come, but I
long-
think there's a long time between them coming and getting the new,
Rating.
I don't know,
Yeah.
he started talking to him.
Yeah, I feel like we're actually not that far away.
all right.
Yeah,
I'll
I was
find out.
talking about doing a par 3 also, about that,
Oh, yeah, sure.
1,500 yards. and
Oh,
that,
right.
yeah, So, gonna have that rated, hopefully we can do it the same day.
Okay.
All right,
And then I
I'll
know
tell
Bob is also, Bob and I have spoken about, doing that whole 5T.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know if he wants to include that on the new rating, even though it won't maybe be actuality then. but at least where they would be, because they said that they could rate on that
Yep.
also.
Oh, on a proposed change.
On a, yeah,
Right.
That's his
He's
thing.
he's got all the proper yardages. We're just discussing what we're going to
So
find.
hopefully.
Oh,
next
good.
meeting,
Yeah.
But what color?
we'll know more.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
I don't know.
So hopefully at the next meeting, Bob can update us.
Yeah,
on
I'll ask
timing.
him to bring that information, because we need new scorecards. But we need the scorecards to reflect the new ratings and everything like that, so.
And then another item for discussion when you talk about the scorecards, which is a good point too, will each of the groups that play there get to pick the tees that they want to play, like whether it be a combo or whether it be straightforward, whatever color they use? Like different courses will do combinations depending on the yardage. Now, will that be reflected,
Have to
needed
get
to be
that rated up.
reflected?
It's up
Yeah.
to each league. The senior leagues have always played the green and the white. You can
Combo.
choose whichever one you want.
Oh, okay.
And when we use Golf Genius and set up our league days, it adjusts for tees.
Okay,
Once we have a good rate, that's why it's so important to us to get the course re-rated,
right.
because a lot of those have moved.
But I guess
Once you do that,
But Priscilla's point is have the scorecard, like they'll color them. So if you're gonna play blue-white, it tells you which.
Right, it tells you which
one's
tee.
blue and which is white.
Right.
We don't have that now, right?
Yeah,
That's
and a
the
lot of courses will do that, a lot of leagues will do that
I don't know
in
if that's
different
included
places.
on it. We can ask Bob about
You
that.
have to,
Yeah.
that's something, you have to get that rated, it's gotta get.
Yeah,
slopes
absolutely.
and everything like
Yep,
that. Yeah,
yep.
that's part of it.
Peter,
But
do
you
you
mean
think
a
our-
different tee
our-
on each
the other-
hole?
the blues
Or
are
Not in every
all
hole,
enough
but
apart that
on
anyone
some
can
holes,
really do
okay,
that?
like the women's group will
What's the
play
difference
the
between
white
blue and white
tee
yardage?
on, or whatever color, on one hole, and that, yeah, depending on what the yardage
well,
is.
that gets tricky.
Is it a
for us.
foul?
It does get tricky, without a
I don't know how
doubt.
we're gonna do that with our group.
Yeah,
Our deal is to play green, you play it on every hole.
Okay.
You don't play white on
Yeah.
some, green on
Because
some.
that's what he's saying, though, that you would rotate, right? You would at least-
If there are five,
on some.
five boxes.
no,
I don't
well,
think you
not
need
just,
a
I mean,
combo course.
it depends,
think
like
you need
longshore, like the women used to, before they went to the all four tees,
prefer
there would be
that.
like 3 or 4 holes they would play
Yeah,
the
that's what I
next
mean.
tee back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I know that my group.
But that would have to be discussed by each group, yeah, and that's a whole nother conversation, that's a lot of work, and you're right, as Mike said, it gets tricky.
All right. Anything else from Green Space?
Nope, I'm good. Great job.
Oh, that's right, yes, you did.
Chris can.
Oh, yeah, God, yeah.
Did you capture that conversation?
All right, I'll go over to then the part 3, although, I don't know, I haven't been to the course. I haven't been to the part 3, so, still there. I'll go walk it before the next meeting. I haven't been over there since I played it, so.
There was a tree that fell. I was walking by there, and I think that's been cleaned up.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a pretty big tree, between 1 and 2, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good.
Not that
All
I
right,
saw.
well, like I said, we have Yanni here from Boca, and again, the point was to kind of just have you come in here and talk about the year, how it was for you guys, what went well, what, there's improvements, anything you want to see?
No, I think we had a great year. I think, obviously we started, right after COVID, and, we had a great year last year. That first year, I think we had a great year, pretty
Right.
glass half full kind of guy, man. I'm pretty optimistic, so, this year we really ramped it up. I mean, we got a lot of community involved, we're doing PTA dinners, we're doing, we got North Stratfield doing their variety show, we were doing Jennings School events, we're doing Pipple High School reunions, war reunions, Barlow banquets, Pipple Ward soccer banquet, all the FYF youth football did their banquets at the Grill this year. Shelton youth football did their banquets at the Grill this year. We got a couple bar mitzvahs this year. We're just trying to figure out ways to do it, revenue, to be honest. I mean, my whole staff that's there has been there from day one, so we have a lot of familiar faces, like I said, I live down the street, I'm very comfortable there. Like I said, we spoke to Anthony about helping out with the simulator and seeing how that could work between the two of us, the synergy there. If it works out, it works out. We're more than willing to do an investment in that. I mean, obviously, we need some things to get going over the winter because it's slow for us, That's why we're trying to go other ways to do things. But, you know, last year, when we first opened, we were closed Monday, Tuesday. This year, we're only closed Monday, you know? Hopefully, we want to be a 7-day-a-week, you know, operation every day, you know? Because I have staff and I want them to be busy, you know? Outings, we have 3 in May, 4 in June, 2 in July, 0 in August, 3 in September, 3 in October.
Wow.
I mean, that was what I told you guys in the commission when I first went, you know, we could do more if there was more weekends, you know?
Right.
And Bob doesn't want to do any tournaments in August, I could probably sell something on that too. Outings are huge for us, and they're a gigantic moneymaker for us. It's on Monday, it's, you know, we get a lot of, you know, out-of-towners per se, that never played the course.
Right.
They come in, they spend a lot of money at the pro shop, they come in and spend a lot of money at the restaurant. You know, the only complaint I have with them, I wish I could get on the course. You know, there's a lot of that, like a lot of guys that are good golfers that can't get on the Smith, you know. I wish I could, you know, there's some spenders there, you know, we would love to have them. As far as the restaurant goes, after 5:30, we're packed, you know. This weekend, the Stratfield had a talent show. The Stratfield School had a talent show. We had about 55 kids show up with their parents, but they still showed up, and we're fine with that. You know, we're a very kid-friendly restaurant. We want to be. And
Right.
some of our regulars, we're not very happy with, you know, kids running around and spilling blue cheese on customers. But you know, good and the bad, right? And it's what it is. Can't take life so seriously sometimes. Like I said, we love being there. You know, we come to work every day. We show up, and you know, like I said, you know, this is easy.
What kind of feedback have you been getting from, like, you know?
I think this year we got great feedback, you know. First year obviously changed, it's hard on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I think this year we haven't really had any issues, honestly, to be honest. You know, like, you know, me and Ralph are like best friends now. It's great, you know. And me and Biggs and Peter work great together. We're like partners, you know. They became 2 of my really good friends, so it's really good, you know.
Good.
We had no issues.
Yeah.
Which is great. You know, we had no issues up there at all. Like, the food's great. I mean, the feedback that I'm getting is the food's phenomenal.
Food's great.
Sometimes the food takes a little long to come out, but, you know, like I said, it's tough with staffing, it's hard, you know, like sometimes, you know, look, for instance, from 6 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock, I pay $55 an hour for staff to be there. I don't make more than $50 a day during that time, you know?
Right.
We lost $75,000 this year from 6 to 11:30. When that's the best part of the problem, you know, that's not a problem at all. That's part of doing business.
Right.
That's our contract. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
But you know, lunches don't make our money. You know, like lunches, breakfast, especially. You know, but I still have to have our staff there, and we still have to pay our staff.
So, John, are you doing better than you thought? You're going back to when you started. Are you ahead of what you projected? Where you projected to be at this point?
Oh yeah. So you know, and Anthony knows. I mean, we might hit percentages here.
That'd be awesome.
You're above the threshold?
Maybe.
No, this coming in 2023. You know, I'm hoping to hit percentage. You know, we have 2 bar mitzvahs. You know, we're trying to get away with getting a wedding done. I don't know how that's going to work. You know, logistically, but that's a big day for us. $75,000.
Mm-hmm.
That would be big for us, but we can't do it with the parking and with the. It's just, we would love to do a lot more events. We're just limited, you know, especially with that parking lot. And this is stuff I never bring up to you guys, but like, you know, there's a lot of drinking in the parking lot, and there's a lot of drinking.
Oh, and that's been a problem, something that I've talked to Bob about.
And they don't even hide it.
They don't even hide it at all.
It's like a tailgate.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just
They
like,
lawn chairs.
And I've never said nothing. I've never complained once, but like that's.
Really? Oh, yeah, I see it all the time.
They like trunk open, 3 camping chairs, just
Oh, my
drinking beer.
God.
And it's a tailgate, like, seriously, and I'm just like.
Yeah.
See, because I play in the morning, then I'm out of there and I don't.
Yeah, it doesn't happen in the morning.
No.
But no, I mean, I don't, you know.
And
you
they
go there.
don't hide it.
There's no hiding.
Right. The problem is, not to go off on a tangent, but one of the guys was urinating in the middle of the parking lot.
Right.
And I was like, dude, there's a bathroom 30 feet away, like,
Yeah.
this is poor, like, you should be embarrassed.
But, you know, maybe a sign that says no outside, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
No outside here. No outside drinking or whatever, no outside whatever, you know, but I don't know. These guys, listen, I'm not
All right, but that's a fair comment,
You
okay,
know,
yeah,
but it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, you guys see it, don't you? They don't even try to hide it.
They don't.
There's like coolers out,
But
trunks.
the problem
open.
is that turns your people into police, it turns Peter's people
I'm not
into
doing it.
police, nobody really wants to do
Yeah,
that.
we're not,
Right.
we talked about it, we're not doing
Yeah,
it.
and they don't react well.
No, they don't react well.
Yeah, and
No,
so that's
imagine
the problem, and
It's like, well, I'm not going into Polk and pay $8 for a beer.
Yeah, you're right,
Right.
you know, and they get
They're,
aggressive,
yeah, they're mad, you know,
Yeah.
so I'm just like, all right, well, sorry, you know?
right. No, and that's not on you or
Yeah,
Peter or
no,
Bob.
it's not our job.
That's exactly right.
Right.
So that's what we've talked about is how do we kind of cut back on that? You know, signs can only go so far.
Yeah, sure, I mean, that.
And signs are ignored, as we know.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
but, you know, again, I would love to, you know, so, you know, again, my own gripe is sometimes is that, like, I know a lot of golfers that are my friends or people that are, you know, that belong to other
Mhm.
really nice country clubs that can't get on to Smith.
Yeah, that's everybody's back to the table.
We can't get on to
Yeah,
Smith,
that's everybody's back
so-
there.
It seems like the same people around every single weekend at the same time.
Yeah, I don't
The
know.
only complaint that I hear from guys, which is relative to their drinking in the parking lot, is the price of beer and wine at lunch is above almost any other course in the area.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether you would consider a program up till, say, 1:30
I
in
mean,
the afternoon,
I-
where you
I
reduce,
can- I
have a
can-
happy hour kind of a
Well,
thing.
we, you know, we have.
And they might get more lunch business that way.
No, probably not. I mean, we have people coming on, we have people coming on, driving to the golf course that aren't golfing, right? That go into the turn room to order a $4 cheeseburger and try to sit in the restaurant with $4 cheeseburger. That aren't golfing. That's for golfers.
Right.
And they get mad at us for saying, sir, you know, this is for the restaurant. It's like, I can't have a conversation with anybody up there because they think they own everything.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
They're buying their cheeseburger from you?
they're buying,
Turn.
they go to the turn room,
Right,
and
rather
buy
than
the
right,
$4
and they sit in the
cheeseburger,
restaurant
instead of
and
sitting inside the restaurant,
They carry it
where
in.
it's a full service menu, you know?
Yeah.
Sure,
Oh,
I
I see what
I
you
can,
mean.
I can offer happy hours, or I can offer, you know, the canned beer is for the golfers, right? And that's what the canned beer is for. The restaurant's a restaurant. I can't, if I started giving out discounts for the restaurant, I'd lose more money during the day.
Yeah.
The day doesn't make any money. It's not even close.
You don't care about the lunch.
I would love lunch. Boca and Oyster Bar, it's the business place in lunch in Connecticut, right? Lunch pays the bills. It's just, we don't, the clientele that's coming in for lunch who's golfing now does not spend money on the golf course or at the restaurant. They're season pass guys that golf relatively, you know, cheap, and they don't spend money.
What about the leagues? Because I know that you've done a little bit with the league lunches, and you've given a
But
couple
those
of
pay- that
deals.
pays my staff, but that,
Okay.
like I said, we give you guys great deals on the league. You know?
Well, our shotgun lunch has been much improved this
Right.
year, thanks to Katie and this group, it's been great. But, and I told Yanni this before, on a regular tea time league day,
Yeah,
I come in there looking for my guys, and I've been president for 15 years, so I know them all, and they're not there. And I've literally gone up to the wheel and found them all having lunch up there.
yeah.
Not all, but a bunch of them.
I mean, you can't compare the food with the wheel to us. It's not even comparable.
But see, you're so proud of the quality of your
I
food.
am.
Those guys coming off the golf course after 4.5 hours
Our
are not
food-
looking for a premium meal.
Well, I'm sorry about
They're just
that.
having a.
We're not gonna give a not premium meal.
No, I'm not, I know that, but that's part of the dilemma. The golfing community has kind of a different paradigm around lunch than what your
Sure.
business model is.
Okay, it works for us. Like I said, I'm happy.
So, as a note, I will say I've been going there recently, and I will say, one thing I agree so much is how friendly it is there. And the consistency of the staff is really remarkable, considering what's been going on, but I really enjoy it there.
Thank you very much. That means a lot. Like I said, Lars, and Katie, and Sammy, and Ainsley, and Meg, they've all been there from day one, you know, and they're not
I
going
think
anywhere.
we all eat, I mean, I eat there, right? I
Yeah.
mean, we go there by choice, you know?
We have after 5 o'clock, every community family comes
That's
around.
right.
We're busy, like, listen, they're very happy with us, and we do a lot for them. We do, like, we're doing fundraisers, I mean, we're doing a lot with Sacred Heart Hockey, you know?
Right, right.
We have a deal with Sacred Heart Hockey now, that's a new arena to all the away teams come in for dinner. You know, we host the away team's
Right.
team, right? So we had Army in the day before their games. We had Quinnipiac, and we had Boston College came in and ordered 46 New York strips. You know, the
Now,
whole
will
team-
you do a special menu for the groups, like the teams that come in?
No,
Will
the
you-
teams are they give me the menu. They say, we want 46 of these, we want, the
Okay.
manager, they reach out and they say, this is what we want it ready by 6:15, and we wanna leave by 7:30.
Okay,
And we're like, okay, you know, and then the parents come in the next night for the game, you know? So we've done a lot with them. I mean, like I said, we're doing, a golf outing with Ward and Ludlow are getting together and making a gridiron club. I don't know if you guys knew that, but just to stay, to make some money for the football teams in town. That's a tournament on July 17th, you know, that's gonna, you know, we're doing a lot with what we can do, I thought, you know.
But, yeah, the only comment that I've heard during the year a little bit was, on some of these events, you close the whole restaurant down.
No.
Okay, I haven't seen it,
Yeah,
but
so
I'm just telling you, we got those emails.
He's there, we put a divider in.
Yeah, as long as there's an area open.
Oh, 100%.
Only really during the golf season is my real comment. Like,
Sure.
You know, during the golf season, somebody comes off at 5 o'clock, they need to be able to come in and
The
get.
I've talked to anybody, the restaurant will never be closed as long as the golfers are on the golf course, right? At
Yeah.
8 o'clock at night, we will close the restaurant to the public, once everyone's done golfing,
Mhm.
right? We will go, after people are off the golf course, we will
Right.
close the restaurant for a private event.
Yeah, the golfers have to have that option when they're done
They
golfing.
will 100%
Yeah.
always have an option.
That's right, but it just functionally, like, they need to be able to come off and get a burger and a beer. if they want.
100%, we always reserve space. What we do is, until that time is allowed,
Yeah.
we put up a divider and you go into the door with the grill room with the
Yeah, which is
back
fine,
door.
yeah, of course.
But some people
I've
get
done all
mad at
that,
that too, you know?
But that's life, that's okay.
I get it.
Yeah, that's okay.
No, we dealt with that.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's
All
okay.
right. Yeah, because I got an email during the summer where somebody said they had no options when
No.
and,
That's never gonna happen,
okay.
ever, you know? Even if, for some reason that they came off late, we would still make them a meal, we would set up a table by the fire pit,
Yeah,
you know? That would never happen,
all right.
you know? But again, one email in 2 years is not bad.
No, like I said, I think the growing pains of the first year are just the newness of it,
Sure.
kind of worn off, and now I think people generally have all kind
Yeah,
of,
and we got to know each other.
Yeah,
You know,
I
it's
mean-
like, okay, no problem,
right,
you know? So, like I said, we're very happy, my staff's happy,
good.
you know? And we're thrilled for this year. You know, we have a lot of events coming up, like I said, the partnership's great, you know?
Good.
And we hope to be there for a very, very long time.
No, I think everybody's excited and happy, and I think it seems to be working really well.
You know, we hire all community people, you know, everyone that works here
Yeah,
is
right.
from the area. It's cool.
And the beverage cart is good too.
Yeah, we got some cool people working on the beverage cart.
They're all nice.
Yeah.
Although they break it a lot, and with the fix, people say, no, I gotta drive the car, but yeah.
Once you get to fix all the cart pads.
Yeah, the cart pads are right.
yeah.
I'm not blaming the car driver, I'm blaming the girls who driving it.
No, the beverage cart has been great too. I think that's a positive thing. You know?
Yeah, so we, you know, like I said, we're, eventually we're gonna have to get another one, probably, you know, for events, but
Right,
they're smaller, like not that big, but like another event. We have so many events now, and there's only one car going around, you know, so.
Oh, right, during the events, that's right.
During
They're
the
all higher
events and stuff,
demand.
because they're on the
Yeah,
line,
it's probably higher
during
demand.
the events, you know, but,
Yeah.
whatever, we'll get another one, no big deal.
All right. Anything else for Yanni?
Nope.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
No problem.
Anthony, I forgot we should have done this spot before we went to Yanni. Fiscal year 24 budget?
Yep, fiscal 24, so that's the upcoming year, this July 1. These have already been submitted to the first select woman who will be presenting her budget, so these will likely change, hopefully not much if we're lucky, but I believe that she's presenting next Wednesday, the 22nd, to the Board of Selectmen. From there, Board of Selectmen will look at these budgets, ask questions, make cuts, and then they'll vote, and then it will move on the following month to the Board of Finance, who will spend about 9 meetings going over the exact same stuff, cutting what they want to cut. then voting on it, and then it will move to the RTM normally in April, and they go through the exact same process, ask all their questions, cut what they want to cut, and ultimately approve it, and then we will have a final budget that the RTM will vote on, I believe, on May 1st or right around that date. Then they set the mill rate based on that. So it is a long process, but here we are. And I know these budgets here are later than usual to you guys because for whatever reason the administration didn't want to start the budget process as early as we have in the past. So what you guys have in front of you, the first one I'll talk about is the it's labeled CJD FY24. It's Carl J. Dickman. That's our Par 3 course. You'll see overall we're looking at a 15% decrease in budget. This is primarily due to the capital outlay line. We had some items from the last budget that rolled over from the year before, so that line zeroes out, which makes it look like there's a huge cut in this budget. But when you look at the real lines, we can't touch the payroll lines, but the other lines such as maintenance and repairs, you'll see a few different lines like that. We've held steady. Special supplies is primarily fertilizers and pesticides. So again, for the most part, staying steady with everything in this budget. Not much to talk about here, but happy to answer any questions on Carl Dickman if you have any. Okay. I will move on to the HSR fiscal 24 budget. Again, very similarly to Carl Dickman. Here, we can't touch any of the payroll lines, but you do see increases in seasonal payroll. There's two lines for seasonal payroll. One consists of the clubhouse staff. The other one consists of the maintenance staff. Again, with minimum wage going up, we've bumped those lines up a little, so you will see slight increases there. But for the most part, everything else we held steady, with some increases in special department supplies and some maintenance stuff, really because the increase of fertilizer costs. I believe across the board, those are around 11%, an increase of 11% from what we're ordering. So overall, this budget's it's still less than a 3% increase, so we are still in pretty good shape. But this does take into consideration all the work that you guys have been talking about and discussing and staying on top of Peter with. So we did take that into consideration. But again, this is our operating budget, and these are the expenses for it. Happy to answer any questions before I jump to revenue.
Any feedback on any of this from Brenda or anybody else in the First Selectwoman's office?
No. I met with them for a couple hours I've got a lot of budget to talk about with them. But no, nothing, there were no comments to me that made it sound like there were going to be significant changes being made or presented. So I think they liked how lean these two budgets were.
Did they task you with anything like, stay under a 3% increase or anything like that, or was that just the way it came out?
It's just the way it came out. They did not task us with that. At least not yet.
Right. Because that's the number that the RTM and the Board of Finance, that's what they focus on.
Yeah, exactly, the overall. So, like I said, we were in pretty good shape with both of these budgets. There's no questions on that. I'll jump to the one that says revenue fiscal 24. And again, both these are on the same page, but the top part of the page is Par 3. And again, there's just the three line items. Really, the only one here that means anything are the greens fees. And you'll see all I did here was I took the 3-year average and carried that over. So we'll see, normally that's a pretty good indicator of where we'll be. Actuals in 21 with, the height of COVID, golf was through the roof. It came down a little bit in 22. And as we're seeing, in 23, we're, pretty much keeping pace with 22. But I think, in the end, I think we may be just trailing it a little bit. Excuse me. Jumping to Smith Richardson, all the line items there. Again, we held pretty steady with most of these. The only one I used an average was the ID cards. Those are the resident IDs. those, for whatever reason, they are really difficult to judge on how many we're going to sell. There's some years where we sell 3,400. There's other years where we sell 2,700, and so I just went with the average there. Season passes, we estimated 65,000, which is where we estimated last year. Greens fees, again, we went slightly up over last year's number, taking into consideration the dollar increase for the per round dollar increase we were talking about. And then the only item that's really on here that we know will drastically change one way or another is going to be that annual locker rental. I carried $2,000 because we sold 2,500 this past year. I'm thinking those guys that got them will probably get them again if they're offered. But I didn't sell. I didn't say we were going to sell out and to do $10,000 in revenue there. So I'd rather just be conservative with it. Again, in the whole scheme of things, not a ton of money, but our revenues would be up based on all these estimates that we're doing here over last year. Happy to answer any questions.
Anthony, where did the new golf carts show up? I'm back to the cost side. I guess I should have asked before, but.
Yeah, that's okay. They're being built right now, so they should be here hopefully next month is my guess. But we've been in constant contact with the company, so they're not going to take our golf carts without delivering the new ones.
How big a cost increase, so it's a new contract?
Let me jump back to that line. Hold on. I want to say it's like a $75,000 increase. But again, that's off the top of my head, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like we increased that line from $178,000 to $200,000.
Right, 200,000, 12.4%.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
When do you think you'll hear from them about the timing?
Purchasing just reached out to them. I know they were just saying that they were building them. They were going to be delivering the GPSs, I thought, to the course, but I could be wrong on that. I don't have an estimated, date where they will be delivered. But again, they did say, before the season starts. So I'm optimistic on that.
Well, Peter just said we're starting March 1st. So.
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to be here by March 1st. So.
Well, I did talk to Tom Lopez, who's a real easy go. They did ask for the copy of the logo they want to put on the cart.
Cool.
All the GPS units are in. I have those up in my shop.
Okay.
So I'm assuming they sent out the GPS that the carts can't be too far behind.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
Wonderful. That's great.
That's great.
And we also did get a new range cart.
Even better. Oh, is it a bigger one? Or is it
Same size.
same size? It's not that 6-seater.
No.
So you could run people back and forth.
No, this is just a range cart to pick up the ball.
Sorry. We had talked about having
Yeah, we're
run
talking
people back and forth.
Right.
We're still talking about
You mean
that.
a shuttle?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Like if you come in, check in and say, hey, can I go hit balls? But then you got to get in your car and drive. So we thought maybe we could have
They have
somebody.
one right now for the junior golf program, right?
Well,
Don't they have an extended
They
one?
steal that from my neighbor.
Oh,
He
okay.
uses that for free golf lessons.
Okay, there you go. That's a good bartering system. Yeah.
We did include a large transport cart in our budget. So
In this budget?
Yes.
in the budget that we're presenting for fiscal 24, yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh,
That's
okay,
cool.
for golf cart rentals.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm sure Bob could use that as part of the junior program too, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for Anthony?
Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep, no problem.
All right. Lost my agenda.
Communication?
Yeah, communication.
Yep. Got
Have
it.
it?
I don't remember.
No email.
Good. All right. Anything from Mr. Daly, please?
Brian Daly, 195 Hurd Street. I did send an email in, and Anthony has responded. So we had our annual meeting at Boca a couple weeks ago. It was a great event. Yanni, your team does a wonderful job as always. Thanks to Lars and Katie and to Greg Francesca that met with Lars. So did a wonderful job. And it was a great event. And every event we've had there, it's been great. Service been great. So thanks for that. The one thing we struggle with a lot there is the sound system. And for some reason, I think part of it is us. We had more people attend than we expected to attend, and everyone had a good time. But some of the speakers, like over the bar, for some reason don't work with the microphone. And then the speakers in the main dining room, I don't know if they're powerful enough. They don't seem to be. If there's no one in there and we tested it, it sounded fine. But as soon as you get a few people and a few ambient noise, it just goes. And then there's something too with the feedback in the microphone, and you got to hold it like almost 12.6 inches from your mouth. So it's, as soon as you pull it back, you hear some feedback. So. I sent a message. Anthony had responded saying he was going to get someone to look at it. I talked to members of the clubhouse committee, and Kurt Curley had told me there's something there with a switch to get those speakers cut over to the mic by the bar, but no one seemed to can figure out where the switch is. I'm not sure if that's true or not.
I have no idea what that switch is.
Can't they call the vendor who installed it?
We had one, he was not a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's like, this is how you do it, this is going back a year or so ago. No, he wasn't, he was one, but
It has to,
he
right?
wasn't a
Good
very,
thing.
very nice guy.
Yeah, we use our own PA system. We all bring in a speaker for events, and we use our own PA system.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
don't
No, that's not right, though.
Well, I'm saying-
Yeah.
The other problem,
Anthony, what did
Oh,
you
yeah.
find out anything on it?
Is Anthony still on?
Yeah, he's.
I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry, had to unmute. No, I'm waiting to hear back from the company. That's where we're trying to get them back out.
So you did reach out to the vendor then who installed them?
Yep, I've reached out to the vendor and to building maintenance.
Good.
You get on that thing and you can't hear it inside, but you can hear it outside of the patio.
You hear it in a pro shop, you hear it at the car barn even, at the speaker.
But you can't hear it
in
inside.
the room
Well,
itself.
when you have music, what do you do? What do you use? Like, if you have like somebody there with like, do they bring their own system or?
A band?
Yeah.
Yeah, they bring their own speakers in there.
Yeah.
But we try not to do it inside anymore because.
No, I know you do it outside, because I remember like,
Outside now,
but so
because
they
now-
use, it's not connected to anything within Boca, they used to use their own?
No, like obviously our house sound system, our Sonos system goes through the speakers, and
Yeah.
that works fine, but as soon as you put that mic on, it starts crackling, and it's bad, I don't know. It doesn't
But when
work.
you use that, but then if you just, stream music, it's okay?
Oh, it's fine,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's weird.
Yeah, streaming is fine. For Super Bowl, we had, live sound down, it was great.
Good.
But again, well, he's right, though, the PA system is, you can hear it outside, clean as day.
Right.
Inside, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
The HLA's has been in there.
Good.
I don't know if you're in public comment, but Don DiMartino from 84 Sunset Circle. I'm on the Board of Governors with Brian, and the feedback really on the house system is something wrong with it. It's so crackling, and it's just intolerable. You couldn't even hear people speak. It's that bad. It's something that really should be looked at.
Well, I think that's what we're
Well,
talking
that's
about.
what, Anthony's looking into it, so that's good.
Right. Yeah, Anthony reached out to the vendor and the internal IT people at the town, so hopefully we can get that fixed before the season starts. Yeah. Good. All right. Anything else?
I had a comment. There's been a lot of comments. I'm a golfer at Smith for many years. Like I said, I'm with Brian on the Board of Governors, and I was on the building committee for the clubhouse. But if the board would consider ever enlarging that putting green, I think it would be a great addition to that existing facility. And along the lines of what Priscilla said, there's nothing you can put maybe on 2 feet of fringe, and the green just gets mobbed. And now that we're talking about expanding the youth program, I think it'd be a good asset to that course to try and make that practice green bigger right at the course.
Well, maybe when we look at, Peter, when we start looking at areas to chip, we can just kind of look at the general layout. and
Yeah.
see.
We can go towards the third green some more, make it bigger, in towards the parking lot.
Right, that's what I was looking at,
Especially, with tournaments, it's elbow to elbow.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Trying to
Well, we used to have 3 putting.
Problem is,
greens,
people
now
hit
we
their
have-
balls, off the third tee,
Yeah.
not far
God
from there.
forbid you stole one.
Right.
but there is, when I was looking at it, there is enough room to
Okay.
expand it if it's feasible,
We
according to
got
what,
do some rearranging of the irrigation and stuff like that, but, we went from 3 putting greens to 1.
I know,
Yeah.
it's awful, yep.
All right, that's a fair comment, thank you. Anybody, on the phone, any comments? All right, Sarah?
I don't have this.
Okay,
I just come to see Brian.
I make a motion to adjourn then.
I like it,
Second it.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you all, see you, next week after we've been playing golf for 2 weeks.